Basically, what we're seeing is, the marketplace is being driven a lot by valuation, especially in the equities, private equity side, the hedge funds. We're seeing a lot more demand around valuation in general. The concerns are how people are doing the valuations, and there's really a drive to have more of a structured process around the valuation, whether it's regulators, LP, limited partners that are pushing for valuation. You're seeing third parties coming in and do valuations for our clients. And the drive there, again, is for more transparency around the valuation process. It's something that we're going to see into the future, I believe, and my opinion is that the more that we have a need to look at additional assets that are more complex, complex derivatives and securities, there's going to be more of a need to have a third-party valuation come in and perform valuations for funds and whether private equity, hedge funds, et cetera. So, when you look at valuations and you kind of consider what best practices are, potential best practices, and you see when funds do it themselves internally, are they really have a robust analysis in place? One of the concerns I always have is looking at what the valuation policies and procedures are and whether the fund is actually following those policies and procedures. And then in terms of the actual analysis itself, have they considered multiple approaches? Are they using the right comps? Do they have sufficient industry experience with respect to the asset to look at it and do the right amount of valuation support for it? So, again, the concern there is also looking at the documentation. What's supportable? Because when the auditors are looking at, the information you provided, can they go back to public sources and check those sources? If they can't audit it. And then it's just a lost cause at that point from a valuation standpoint. I know, when you talk about the business aspect, a lot of times it's easy enough to call your friend at another fund and find out what they made a deal at, a transaction, et cetera. But that's not, if it's a private deal, you can't supply that information, then there's a concern with that.